In today's video, we're taking a closer look at 5 Jefferson nickel coins from 1983, 1982, 1949, 1945, and 1944. We'll explore their history, key features, mint marks, condition, rarity, and estimated market value. Some Jefferson nickels can be worth far more than their face value, especially if they have rare varieties or are in exceptional condition. Let's get started and see if any of these nickels could be valuable additions to your coin collection. Coin number. Today's first coin is a very interesting piece for collectors. A 1983 Jefferson nickel with P mint mark. This coin might look simple at first sight, but when we go deeper into its condition, surface details, and collector demand, it becomes much more intriguing. The Jefferson nickel series, also known as the 5-cent coin of the United States, has been in circu nickel with P mint mark. This coin might look simple at first sight, but when we go deeper into its condition, surface details, and collector demand, it becomes much more intriguing. The Jefferson nickel series, also known as the 5-cent coin of the United States, has been in circulation for many decades. These coins are usually made for everyday use, but certain years and certain conditions can sometimes make them highly desirable among collectors. Now, coming to our coin, this is a 1983 Jefferson nickel. P mint mark, which means it was minted in Philadelphia Mint. The Philadelphia Mint mark P is standard for many Jefferson nickels, especially in modern years. But what makes a coin potentially special is not just the mint mark, it is the condition, surface quality, and rarity factors. At first glance, this coin shows light black layer on the front and reverse side. This type of toning, or dark surface appearance, usually develops due to long-term circulation, environmental exposure, or chemical reaction with air and moisture. In coin collecting terms, this is often described as circulated toning, or dark patina. The condition of this coin is described as almost fine circulated condition, which means it is not brand new or uncirculated, but still retains visible details of design, including Jefferson's portrait on the front and Monticello building on the reverse side. Even in circulated condition, collectors always check certain important points. First is the clarity of the design, how sharp Jefferson's face appears. Second is the visibility of lettering and mint mark. And third is the overall surface condition, whether the coin is heavily damaged or still presentable. In this particular coin, the light black layer adds a unique appearance, but it also affects the grading. Some collectors may see it as natural toning, while others may consider it environmental damage, depending on severity. Now let's talk about the most interesting part, the market value claim. It is said that this coin has a potential value of around $215,000 due to its rarity and condition factors. However, in the coin collecting market, such high valuations usually depend on very specific conditions such as mint errors, extremely high-grade certification, or unique varieties. For a normal 1983 Jefferson nickel, the value is usually very low, often just face value or slightly above. But if a coin has a rare mint error, unusual strike, or is graded extremely high by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, then its value can increase significantly. So in this case, if this coin truly has any hidden variety, error, or exceptional grading potential, then collectors may find it more valuable. Otherwise, it remains a circulated coin with historical interest rather than a high-value rarity. Still, coins like this are important because they represent everyday currency history. The Jefferson nickel series has been minted continuously, and each coin tells a small story of its time, economic conditions, metal composition, and minting technology. The year 1983 is also part of a modern circulation era, where coins were produced in large quantities. That is why most 1983 nickels are common. But collectors always examine them carefully because sometimes rare minting mistakes do exist, such as off-center strikes, double dies, or unusual planchet issues. If you're a coin collector, you should always inspect coins like this under good lighting or a magnifying glass. Small details like die cracks, doubling, or unusual color changes can sometimes make a big difference in value. To summarize this coin, we have a 1983 Jefferson nickel, P mint mark, circulated condition, with light black toning on both sides. While it appears to be a normal circulated coin, it still carries collector interest due to its age, condition, and possible visual uniqueness. And remember, in coin collecting, value is not always fixed. It depends on demand, rarity confirmation, and professional grading. This concludes our first coin. In the next part, we will move to the second Jefferson nickel and see what unique features it holds. Coin number 2. Today's second coin is another interesting piece from the Jefferson nickel series, a 1,982 Jefferson nickel with D mint mark. This coin was minted in the Denver Mint, which is represented by the small letter D on the coin. The Denver Mint is known for producing large quantities of circulation coins every year, and the 1,982 series is also part of that high production era. At first glance, this coin may look like an ordinary circulated nickel, but when we carefully examine its details, we notice some unique characteristics that make it more interesting for collectors and coin enthusiasts. The front side of the coin shows the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States. On the reverse side, we can see the famous Monticello building, which is Jefferson's historic home and one of the most iconic designs in American coinage history. Now coming to the condition of this coin, it shows a light brown spot on both front and reverse sides. This type of discoloration usually happens due to long-term exposure to air, moisture, or environmental elements. In coin grading terms, this can be described as toning or surface spotting. The coin is also described as being in low circulated condition, meaning it has been used in everyday transactions and is not in mint state condition. The details are still visible, but somewhere can be seen on high points, such as Jefferson's hair, cheek, and the building structure on the reverse side. Even though it is circulated, collectors always look closely at coins like this, because sometimes small imperfections or unusual surface features can indicate rare varieties or error coins. The year 1982 is important because it falls within a period when the U.S. Mint produced coins in very large numbers. Generally, most 1,982 Jefferson nickels are considered common in the market. However, collectors still examine them for errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, or unusual metal composition variations. Now let's talk about the most debated part, the claim market value of $218,000. This is a very high valuation for a Jefferson nickel of this year and type. Normally, a circulated 1,982 Jefferson nickel has very low market value, often just face value or a few cents above it. However, in rare situations, if a coin has a verified mint error, extremely high-grade certification, or unique rarity, then its value can increase significantly in the collector market. So if this coin truly has any special minting error, or has been graded at an exceptionally high level by professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC, then it could attract strong collector interest. Otherwise, in standard condition, it remains a common circulation coin. Still, coins like this are very important for beginners and collectors because they help us understand how coin value is determined, not just by age, but by condition, rarity, demand, and certification. The light brown spotting on this coin makes it visually different, but in most cases, surface toning alone does not increase value unless it is part of a known rare variety or aesthetically unique collectible pattern. If you're a coin collector, this type of coin teaches you an important lesson. Always check every detail carefully. Even small marks, mint errors, or unusual surface patterns can sometimes lead to valuable discoveries. To summarize this coin, we have a 1,982 Jefferson nickel, D mint mark, circulated and low-condition coin, with light brown spotting on both sides. While it appears to be a normal circulation coin, it still holds collector interest due to its age, mint origin, and surface appearance. And that is why coin collecting is such an exciting hobby, because every coin has a story, even if its value is not always high. In the next segment, we will continue with the next Jefferson nickel and explore its unique features. Coin number 3. Today's third coin is another fascinating piece from the Jefferson nickel series, a 1,949 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark. This coin represents an important period in American coin history, just a few years after World War II. During this time, the U.S. Mint was producing large quantities of coins to support the growing economy, and the Jefferson nickel was one of the most widely used coins in circulation. Now, this particular coin is a no mint mark 1,949 Jefferson nickel, which typically means it was minted at the Philadelphia Mint. In older U.S. Coinage, Philadelphia coins often did not carry a mint mark, making them standard circulation issues for that year. At first glance, this coin is described as being in fine condition, meaning it has seen regular circulation but still retains important design details. You can still clearly observe Thomas Jefferson's portrait on the front, although some wear is expected due to age. On the reverse side, Monticello is still visible, but with softened edges due to long-term usage. Because this coin is more than 70 years old, even in circulated condition, it holds historical significance. Coins from the late 1940s represent a post-war economic era, and many collectors value them not just for rarity but for their connection to history. Now, the condition of this coin is important. In fine condition, the high points of the design, such as Jefferson's hair, cheekbone, and the architectural details of Monticello, are usually worn down. However, the overall shape and main design elements remain identifiable. This coin is also described as having no mint mark, which is standard for Philadelphia mint coins of that era. While this does not automatically make it rare, it does confirm its mint origin and adds historical context for collectors. Let's now discuss the most controversial part, the claimed market value of $225,000. In the general coin market, a standard 1,949 Jefferson nickel in fine circulated condition is usually not worth anywhere near this amount. Most of these coins are common and valued at only a few dollars depending on condition. However, in rare collecting situations, a coin might reach high value if it has a verified minting error, extremely high professional grading (MSPR) levels, unique variety or double die features, or exceptional historical demand in top condition. So, if this specific coin truly has any hidden mint error or has been certified as extremely rare by professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC, then it could potentially attract high collector interest. Otherwise, in normal circumstances, it remains a common circulated coin from the Jefferson series. Still, coins like this are very important for collectors because they teach us how to evaluate numismatic value. Age alone does not determine price. Condition, rarity, demand, and certification all play a major role. The 1949 Jefferson nickel is especially interesting because it belongs to an early post-war production period. During this time, coin minting technology was improving, but still not as advanced as modern standards. That is why some coins from this era show natural imperfections, weak strikes, or uneven details, all of which are carefully studied by collectors. If you're a coin enthusiast, this type of nickel is a great example of how history and economics come together in small pieces of metal. Every scratch, wear mark, and surface detail tells a story of circulation over decades. The 1949 Jefferson nickel is especially interesting because it belongs to an early post-war production period. During this time, coin minting technology was improving, but still not as advanced as modern standards. That is why some coins from this era show natural imperfections, weak strikes, or uneven details, all of which are carefully studied by collectors. If you're a coin enthusiast, this type of nickel is a great example of how history and economics come together in small pieces of metal. Every scratch, wear mark, and surface detail tells a story of circulation over decades. To summarize this coin, we have a 1949 Jefferson nickel, no mint mark, in fine circulated condition. It is a historic post-war coin with visible wear, but still an important collectible for understanding mid-20th century U.S. coinage. And that is what makes coin collecting so exciting. Every coin carries history, even if its market value is not always extremely high. In the next segment, we will continue with the fourth Jefferson nickel and explore its unique characteristics. Coin number 4. Now let's move on to our fourth coin, a classic Jefferson nickel from 1945 with a P mint mark. This coin is one of the most talked about nickels from the World War II era because 1945 was the final year of the famous wartime Jefferson nickels. During the war, the United States changed the metal composition of nickels to conserve nickel metal for military production. Because of this historical background, many collectors pay close attention to coins from 1945. The large P mint mark identifies that this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Wartime nickels are easy to recognize because the mint mark appears above the Monticello building on the reverse side, making them different from many earlier Jefferson nickels. This unique feature makes the 1945 issue especially interesting for both beginner and experienced collectors. Looking closely at this particular coin, we can see a light black layer on both the front and reverse sides. Over many decades, coins often develop natural toning as they react with air, humidity, and storage conditions. Some collectors appreciate natural toning because it gives every coin a unique appearance and tells the story of its long journey through circulation. This coin is also described as being in circulated condition. Although it has been used in everyday commerce, the major design elements remain visible. Thomas Jefferson's portrait can still be identified clearly, while the Monticello building on the reverse continues to display its classic architectural details despite normal wear from circulation. One reason collectors enjoy searching for 1945 Jefferson nickels is the possibility of discovering unusual die varieties, striking errors, or exceptionally well-preserved examples. Even small differences in lettering, mint marks, or strike quality can attract attention in the numismatic community. This coin is also connected to an important chapter in American history. Every wartime nickel reminds us of the sacrifices and industrial changes that took place during World War II. Instead of using the normal nickel alloy, the U.S. Mint produced these coins with a special silver alloy, making them historically different from standard Jefferson nickels. According to the information provided, this coin has an estimated market value of $235,000. In practice, values in the collector market depend on professional grading, authentication, rarity, demand, and whether the coin has a verified mint error or another exceptional characteristic. Without those factors, most circulated 1945 Jefferson nickels generally sell for much lower amounts. Whether highly valuable or simply a historic collectible, the 1945 Jefferson nickel remains one of the most recognized coins in the Jefferson nickel series. Its wartime history, distinctive mint mark, and unique composition continue to make it an important coin for collectors around the world. If you own a 1945 Jefferson nickel, it is always worth examining it carefully with proper lighting or magnification. Small details that may seem ordinary at first glance could become important during professional evaluation. That completes our fourth coin. In the next part of the video, we'll take a closer look at our final Jefferson nickel and discover what makes it another interesting addition to this collection. Coin number 5. Now it's time for the fifth and final coin in today's collection, a 1944 Jefferson nickel with the S mint mark. This coin was produced at the San Francisco Mint during one of the most important periods in American coin history. Because it was struck during World War II, it belongs to the famous wartime Jefferson nickel series, making it a fascinating coin for collectors around the world. The large S mint mark on this coin identifies its San Francisco origin. During the wartime years, the United States Mint changed the composition of Jefferson nickels to help conserve nickel for military production. These wartime nickels contain a special silver alloy, making them historically different from regular Jefferson nickels. Looking closely at this example, we can see a black layer on both the front and reverse sides. This darker appearance is often the result of decades of circulation, natural toning, and long-term exposure to air and moisture. Every old coin develops its own unique look over time, which is one of the reasons collectors enjoy studying them. Although this coin has circulated, many of its important design features are still visible. Thomas Jefferson's portrait remains recognizable on the obverse, while the Monticello building on the reverse continues to display its classic design. Even with signs of wear, a coin like this represents more than 80 years of American history. Collectors carefully inspect 1944 Jefferson nickels for valuable characteristics such as strong strikes, unusual die varieties, double designs, off-center strikes, or other mint errors. Professional grading also plays an important role in determining collector value. Small differences in preservation can make a significant difference in the numismatic market. According to the information provided, this coin has an estimated market value of $227,000. In actual coin collecting, values at this level are generally associated with authenticated rarities, major mint errors, or exceptionally high certified grades. Most circulated examples trade for much lower prices, so authentication and professional grading are essential before assigning a high value. The 1944 S Jefferson nickel remains one of the most recognizable wartime coins in the series. Its unique silver composition, San Francisco mint mark, and connection to World War II make it a favorite among collectors who appreciate both history and numismatics. If you own a 1944S Jefferson nickel, take the time to examine it carefully under good lighting or magnification. Look for unusual details, strong design features, or possible mint errors, and consider professional grading if you believe your coin has something special. That brings us to the end of today's Jefferson nickel collection. We explored 5 different coins from 1983, 1982, 1949, 1945, and 1944 each, with its own history and collector appeal. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoy rare coin content, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you won't miss future coin discoveries.